Shalom. Welcome to our Erev Shabbat class from Eretz Israel. I'm Avraham Shira. Welcome to our Erev Shabbat class. I'm Avraham Shira, and today we are looking at an amazing concept. Rabbi Nachman teaches in the 31st Torah of Likutei Moharan that when people give charity, we actually turn the wheels of heaven. Now, what are the wheels of heaven? These are the power spheres that keep the planets on their pathways, that keep the life force flowing through the constellations, that all of it is part of the cosmic structure, that if you learn in the Kabbalah the proper order of things, we see that man is not at the bottom of the ladder, that our souls and the good things that we do actually release energy into the world and into those structures that are beneath us, including the structures called the constellations and the seven Kochvei Lechet, which are the seven planets of our solar system. Now these are giant concepts. Who can hear that? That if I give a coin to somebody, that if we give a coin to somebody, that it actually contributes to the movement of the planets and the stars? Isn't that outrageous? Of course it is. But he explains it right here into the Kabbalah. I'm going to try to do my best to give it over in a short time because we don't have much time because the sun is turning and it's going into the sea very soon. But the whole idea is that when God created the world, he acted an eternal process of giving. That he is this power that continually renews itself, and that power is continually sent into creation. And if you ever studied some of the science behind Tesla's ideas and behind some other scientists that learned with him, drawing a blank here, but it doesn't matter. The idea is that there is this background energy in the universe always present. And the scientists have been working for decades, maybe 100 years, to find this power. And that power, really, when you study Kabbalah, you see it's right there. It's in the constant renewal of creation that we see every day. And that power, that power of renewal, we are contributors to it by what we do. So when we keep Shabbat, it's an act of charity to the people that we invite. It's an act of charity to ourselves, of course, because we take a day off and get a break from the chasing the almighty dollar instead of sitting with the almighty presence. And so but giving charity also causes a re-effectuation, fancy word, right, of the giving and receiving process, which is exactly what all creation is built on. Because God is giving to us, and we receive, and then we take that power, and we give it to others, and then they take that power and give it to others, and that chain link of receiving and giving and receiving renews creation. And if you don't believe me, just go out and give something to somebody and see how you feel. You'll feel a little better. I know people that have been on the operating table before of life-threatening operations, and they gave charity. They took their rings off their fingers and their watches and bracelets and gave them away. And they flew through the surgery like nothing. Because the act of giving, we are entering the energy process of creation. And it doesn't even matter how much you give. Of course, unless you're a billionaire, you need to give a little bit more. But the point is that giving itself aligns us with the flow of energy in the universe. And Shabbat is God's ultimate gift to us. And so, I was thinking about this a little earlier. If I don't have Shabbat, I'm like refusing a gift. And how does it feel when you go to a store and you pick out your favorite item for somebody, and you wrap it and you bring it to them as a gift on their birthday, and they don't like it? How does that feel? It feels like a shutdown. It feels like a cutoff, because it is a cutoff. Because you took your time, your energy, your money, your kavana, your intention, your heart, and put it into the buying of that gift, and then you went to give it, and the person didn't want it. That's not a good feeling. But I imagine For the Creator, who is all a sentient being, whether or not we like the definition, that's a personal issue. My definition, one of the definitions that works for me of the infinite creative power, is it is a sentient being. It feels feelings in a much greater way than we realize. And if we cut off his giving of a gift, then how's God going to feel? And that's why the penalty for not keeping Shabbat on purpose is karet in Hebrew, which means cut off. It's that little snip in the heart where you feel not connected to my deeper soul. And so he explains through this whole Torah, in Torah Lamed Aleph, there are many other ideas going on. But the blessings that follow the giving and the receiving are manifold. And they will follow you around the blessings. We're not doing what we do. We're not giving charity to get blessings. We're not keeping Shabbat to get blessings. But the blessings do come. We're keeping Shabbat because the Creator said, join me in creation. Join me in the process. And, it's an opportunity to experience our divine self. So we don't want to miss that opportunity. Now you say, well, there's too many laws, there's too many practices, there's too many customs, I can't handle all that. Okay, don't handle it. Take a little bit. Start with a little bit. Start with one thing. Having a meal with your family. Turning off the TV. Turning off your phone. For 2 hours. For, a half a day. Don't do anything that doesn't involve the people you love and ideas of growth, of sharing ideas like these. And there's, Judaism we're called the people of the book for a reason. Because we got so many books, we'll never read them all in 10 reincarnations. But the point really is that we begin with the idea of Shabbat, of rest from everything, then we can experience the gift of who we are, the gift of this day, the gift of how the Creator runs the world, and the perfect logic behind the entire system. So give a little charity and just see what happens. Try to get in touch inside. Try to see how that I get more joy when I give than when I receive. And it's a miracle because I always wanted to receive. We all like to receive. You get a check in the mail, it makes you happy. But you know what? When you give out something, it makes you happier. And that's because you are receiving a new influx of the life force that runs the entire creation. B'chol yom mituvo tamid mechadesh maaseh bereshit. Every day, creation is being created anew. It is not a linear creation. It is a continuous, beginning to end. All of it's happening at once. We have to change our complete concept of time. We live in a linear illusion, but reality is happening from the beginning to the end, always from inside to outside, from infinite to finite, from the spiritual to the physical. And when we keep Shabbat, and we praise, and we sing, and we dance, and we make blessings, then we're sending the energy back. And we complete the energy loop, and Shabbat becomes the greatest gift that we could ever receive. So God bless you all. We'll see you again this week on Patreon, on YouTube, Facebook, Insight Timer, Lighthouse, all the outlets where they'll let me show. But, it's good to have you there, and have a great weekend. Shabbat Shalom.